are a cut above a lot of the teams. But I think some of the teams in the SEC sometimes get too much of a clout where they saw North Carolina barely scrape by App State. It's like, see, like that wouldn't happen, that's why North Carolina couldn't be in the SEC. Is like they barely beat the Sun Belt team, App State, and then Texas A&M, who Nick Saban is so afraid of that he
number one recruiting class, right?
He essentially squeaks out. It's like, hey, watch what these guys are doing. They get beat by App State. So it's just kind of fun to see. And speaking of the Sun Belt, I believe, Georgia Southern.
Yes, sir. Another one.
Nebraska.
Another one.
It was so badly that it
unemployment line.
Yeah, Scott Frost. And I could be wrong. You want to talk about almost a weird kind of confluence of like irony. I don't know if you want to say that. I believe the coach of Georgia Southern is Clay Helton, who was last year the coach of USC. And in week 2, he lost to Stanford and he got fired. So he's just paying it forward, I guess. I don't know.
Well, the other thing funny about that is they pulled the trigger on Scott Frost before his buyout went down. So they have to pay for just hours, right? And now they have to pay him the big money, not the small money. Am I right about that?
Well, there was still a few weeks. It was like early October.
Right.
But you are right. It still shows you how badly they wanted him gone. Is they were willing to eat like an additional like $7 to $10 million.
It's upside down. It's upside down. What else? What else did you like, or not like, or said what the heck?
Well, I'll just say real quick. The Texas Alabama. We want to give some props to Texas.
Yeah.
They lose their quarterback, Quentin Ewers, who was playing fairly well for them. And even with him down, I'm sure a lot of Texas fans got flashbacks to the championship game where Colt McCoy got injured. Texas stayed with them. Texas played it tough. And the sad thing was it came down to 2 possessions and just how football comes down to like one play that were kind of mirror each other. Texas, on their last real drive, they got close to the red zone, and the running back slipped, and Willie Anderson came off the edge and sacked their quarterback, and they had to settle for a field goal to go up. And then on the Alabama's last drive, there was a great blitz call for Texas. The guy came off the edge, and Alabama's quarterback dipped low, and he ran forward, and he got 20 yards to set him up for the winning field goal. So,
yeah, I think that there were a couple of plays that Bryce pulled off that put him ahead in the Heisman, because I was a strong Stroud supporter, but those 2 plays showed you a lot.
Now I'm still hanging tight for Stetson Bennett, so they're just pointing that out one more time. Just every week I'll get that in.
So, we keep talking about the NIL. Why doesn't Stetson, the hat company?
Come on. Here we are on a podcast with our fan, and we got that figured out. We got Levis Levi's, and Stetson's hat. Come on. Somebody out there, pick up the phone. Drop us a line. We're on top of this.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Will Levis,
yeah,
with a huge win on the road in Florida and upsetting week 1 Heisman hopeful Anthony Richardson, definitely got dashed after the game being tied up, and he throws an out route where there clearly was a miscommunication because he was throwing just to a DB for Kentucky who ran it back for a touchdown. Because if you watch the wide receiver for Florida, he clearly was not running a smoke route and then running or a slant. Like he was going upfield. I don't know who Anthony Richards, what the play was. I don't know. I'm not saying it wasn't a miscommunication, but I believe that's 3 wins out of the last 5 years for Kentucky over Florida after they struggled for so many years to win against them. I believe now they're in the top 10. And, it's just a credit to Stoops and his team. Like they've really developed this team, and, there's some good talent that comes out of Kentucky, but they really have to go outside of of the state to find their talent. So it's just a remarkable development of a program.
Well, Stoops, 10 years there, the winningest coach in Kentucky football history, and the administration hung in there with them. And you got to give all of that credit to say, let's give this a try. Let's not knee-jerk it. Let's do it. And look where they are. You got to love it.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that Ashley Home Furnishings is going to provide couches for the rest of the season so that they can burn stuff.
Now there goes your Lexington. Careful there. Listeners in Lexington, stand by. We'll be right with you. Wow.
Oh, they're proud of it. They're proud of it.
But you got to say, both seasons, NFL and college, could you have scripted some of these things any better? Absolutely not. Everybody's excited. Live football is back. Big crowds are back everywhere you look. It's an exciting time, really, and it couldn't have been set up any better than it is today.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, people, for the pandemic, all the crazy politics and everything else going on in the world, it's kind of cool to have something that's just entertaining and allows you to take a moment away from it. So, yes, agreed.
Well, here's my only thing. I heard one guy, I don't know what team, he's a 7th-year senior. Can you help me with that math? I got lost on that. And he's 26 years old. What happened there? How does that work? Was that COVID or what?
For a season. He got injured for a season, and in the COVID year, you got an extra one to begin with.
Okay.
So maybe, I don't know. It's craziness.
I mean,
he's getting his doctorate or his second master's. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
I'm a 7th-year senior. Lugs, you still got eligibility, I think, after that. You blew out your ACL, don't you?
Yeah, my ACT. I blew out my ACT, I think.
ACT, SAT, whatever it takes. Okay, anything else tonight? Any other little tidbits or salutes to anybody? Or are we done for this program?
Well, I was just going to say, so this Thursday night, how are we going to watch the game? Unless you have Amazon Prime, you're hurting, right?
True.
So...
Yeah, I can't speak for either one of you. I do not have it.
I don't either.
So, and it stinks because I guess go to a bar because it is one of those games you want to watch. They have some stinkers coming up on Amazon Prime, but this weekend it is not. It is Chargers versus the Chiefs. So,
oh yeah, NFL gave them a real good kickoff game.
Yeah,
for the whole process.
And most of them are just, the other ones are just for those off-color uniform nights, right? I mean, that's really what they're for. They're not for really competitive games. And when the Bears were all orange, oh, wow, or whatever.
I do believe down the road, I believe they have a Panthers a Panthers Falcons game. So it's you get a little, you take a little. So
the Emmys might actually beat that, Panthers Falcons.
I think you give the Emmys a little too much credit.
Yeah, I think the NFL dominates, period. I don't care who's playing whom. Yeah. There's still always interesting games. So, So if we're coming, I just had one final note.
Yes, please.
We're always saying we're sports and other stuff. So let me drop in this other stuff on you. On this day, births, Italian poet Dante, singer Amy Winehouse, rapper Nas, and bringing it back to sports, NBA coach Larry Brown. So there you are.
Right.
And congratulations to Donovan Mitchell. He's been traded to the Cavaliers, and he's happy about it.
All right, so we're done for tonight. That'll wrap that up. So we're going to get out of here on this one. That's another episode of Sports and Other Stuff, brought to you in part by our old friends at Rose Auto Sales. They're on Highway 51 North. If there's stickers not on the back of your car, you probably paid too much. Stop in and ask for Norm, and if he's not there, ask for
Fish.
Yeah.
And this week, in honor of September 14th, 1814, anniversary of Francis Scott Key poem, which was later set to music and became America's national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. Old Fish, he's going patriotic and nostalgic. Everyone who comes down at 1 p.m. this Saturday and sings the national anthem will receive a small replica of the Betsy Ross flag and a beginner's paint set from Betsy's very distant cousin, Bob Ross. Yes, he of the happy little accident fame. So come on down, paint your nation's portrait in words, and see if you can prove Bob Ross's quote, talent is a pursued interest, to be true.
Wait a minute, Betsy Ross and Bob Ross? Seriously? We are the Sport Weasels. First in sound, first in service, first in other stuff. So long, till next time, and go Collingwood Magpies.
Yeah!
Yeah!